welcome to my channel. And today is freezing in Florida. Freezing, freezing, freezing. Thus, the long sleeve sweatshirty kind of thing. I never wear these things, but it's been, last night got down to the 40s here. That's cold. That's really cold for us when you're used to having it in the 80s and 90s. So it's pretty chilly, but I'm enjoying it because it kind of reminds me of New England, right? So, what do I have for you this week? Didn't have a chance to make a lot of things because Thanksgiving happened. I do the Thanksgiving dinner. So all day Wednesday I was cooking, Thursday, then family came over Thursday. They didn't leave until late Thursday night. I was in bed early. I was exhausted. Friday, I started a project, and this is what's happened to me all the rest of the time. I started a project, didn't like it, thought it was too big, frogged the whole thing, started over again with a smaller hook. Took me 2 days to finish that project because the whole time I couldn't figure out if I liked it or not. Of course, in the end, when you put something all together, it looks fantastic. So then I started another project. Oh, and I wanted to pull this yarn out to show it to you, but I forgot. Anyhow, it was a Bernat blanket yarn I used on my second project, and I do not like working with Bernat blanket. Do not like it. It kills my hand. I have tendonitis in my wrists, and boy, that stuff is hard to work with. If you can't use a big hook, I would have to use it like this. Not the way I usually crochet, so it takes me forever to do anything. No more Bernat blanket for me. I will not buy it anymore. Not to say it's not good for you guys. I'm sure lots of you love it. I don't. I'm not even crazy about what it looks like, the stitches, but that's me. That's me. So, I was the same way with that project. Started it, kept saying this is going to be ugly, it's not coming out like the pattern, blah, 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 blah. In the end, it's my most favorite plushie I've ever made. Go figure. I wasn't going to continue, but I just said, nope, I'm not a quitter. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get this thing made and see what happens. So that's what I did. Turned out to be my favorite one ever. You never know. You never know. So I ended up with 4 little projects. Well, not little projects. One little one medium, 2 big. Since Sunday till last night. So that's not too bad for me because I'm not a fast crocheter. So I'll show you the first one. This one I made because I sold out at my last market. So I have to do at least 2 of these for my next market, which is on the 10th. I don't get it, but they sell and kids love them. And that's the good old, still got some fuzzies on it. And that's the good old little axolotl. They sell out. People love them. Kids love them. Remember the story last week about the little boy who insisted on his grandmother buying him the axolotl? That was my last one. So I made this one. And I love the colors. Love the colors. And I have one. I want to make one more. The 10th is going to get here really fast. So I had an order for an owl. And the woman who ordered it asked me if I could make it by December 5th because she needed to mail it out as a gift. So I said, all right. Of course, I had never made an owl. Didn't have an owl pattern. So I went on Etsy looking. And I did find a pattern that I really liked. And we'll talk about that one next. But he turned out big. And I said, uh-oh. This will be like a $45 owl. I don't know if she wants to pay that much. We never discussed price. She just said an owl. So my friend Robin at Knotting Hook Crochet had made a little owl. And I asked her, I says, where's that pattern from? And I went and bought that pattern, and it was cheap, like $1 and change. And it's small, much smaller. I don't know how big he is, maybe 6 inches, 7 inches tall. And he's cute. He's very cute. But don't know if this is what she liked. And I had to change some of the pattern because I just didn't like what the designer did with it. He wanted you to glue on the eyes and then glue on the safety eyes, glue on the nose. The wings were crocheted in. That was good. Little bitty things for feet. Not crazy about that either. May change it if I make this again. The ears are crocheted on, which I do like. Ooh, he's got fuzzies too, excuse me. And so what I did from learning to make the bigger owl was I put the safety eyes on this crochet piece. I always glue my safety eyes with the backing, always with E6000 glue. I'm not taking any chances, don't want it to come apart. If it's not stuck, they're really sturdy when you do that. If it's not stuck just with the backing, that glue's going to hold on to everything. So I glued the safety eyes onto this piece before I sewed them on to the head. He said to hot glue them on. No, I wasn't going to do that. I could just see a kid tearing it and tearing it. It's not going to come off now, sewed on. I sewed on the nose. But I think he's adorable. I think he came out so cute. And this is with Parfait Chunky yarn. Let me see. This is Teddy Bear. And this is Mushroom, I believe. And then I had the white. Now his pattern, I'm going to bring this up a little closer, had just the white. And I thought that was just too stark. It just was too much. So on my other owl pattern that I'll show you in a minute, they had the white trimmed out in a color to match the body. So I did that for this too. So these eyes are just a round larger than what's called for because I put the color around them. But I like it so much better that way. And little teeny wings. And I think he's cute, so let me know what you think. I think it's adorable. Now I'll show you his big brother, the first one I made. The one I wanted to quit on. So I found this pattern on Etsy, and I sent a picture of it to the person who wanted an owl, and I said, what do you think of this one? And she goes, oh yeah, I like that one, that'll be good. So I bought the pattern and I started making it. Now the pattern was made with acrylic yarn, 4-ply acrylic. And so I had to figure out on my own what size hook I wanted to use for this because I was using Plushie yarn. Oh my lordy. I first started with a 5mm crochet hook. And I swear his head would have been as big as a basketball. As big as a basketball. So, frogged that head. And I had done a lot of work on that head. But it wasn't right. I wasn't happy with it. If I'm not happy with it, I'm certainly not going to show it to anybody. And I'm certainly not going to sell it to somebody. I have to like it first before I deem it sellable. So I think I ended up using a 4mm hook. I used Parfait Chunky and chocolate and, ooh, I forget the name of the color. I don't know. Help me out when you see it. And I used tangerine for his nose and his feet. And this is how he came out. Isn't he cute? 2 days. 2 days I spent on him. Between the frogging and the starting over and the trying to figure out how to do the plushiness on my own. I don't know. And this is what I was talking about the other color around the eye. I really like that. I think it makes it stand out more. And not so stark a color. He has real little feet. I love his wings. They fit perfectly along his body. Now these eyes, the safety eyes, not only go through this circle for his eyes, but it also goes into the head. So you put it through 2 layers of yarn. Whew, that was tough. That was tough. I had to have Grumpy help me out because I wasn't strong enough to do that. So put my E6000 on it and got him over there and said, squeeze as hard as you can. It's 2 layers of Plushie yarn. And it worked. It worked. Held it on there, and then I sewed all around the edges to keep it on good and tight. Got his nose. He's got a big nose. It's cute. Cute, cute, cute. He's got little feet. The feet were a little confusing in the pattern, but the designer had said that if you had trouble with the feet, to just email her and she would send you a video showing you how to do it. So that's what I did. And she did get back to me. She's not American. I have no idea what she said in her email because it was in a different language, but I could follow the tutorial. And I think he's cute. And this one has a little tail. Little tail helps him to sit up. So he's a good one. And I like that it has these little feathery things on here, but it's going to fall apart. I know it's going to fall apart. I have to look through my acrylic yarns to see if I have a yarn that will fit, because this Parfait Chunky will just pull apart, especially since this is for a 3-year-old boy. So I don't know. So I don't know which one she's going to choose. The big one, which is going to be substantially more money than the little one, because look at the size difference. Isn't that funny? It's so cute. It's so cute. I have a blast playing with my plushies. And I don't want to give them up. Do you do that? Do you start something new and it comes out so cute and you say, I'm not getting rid of this. I have to keep them for myself. Well, that is my next plushie. This one I started, it's a pattern I bought on Etsy. It wasn't very expensive. It had 2 different design hats that you could make with your snowman. And what was it made with? I'm not sure if it was made with a Plushie yarn or an acrylic yarn, but I had bought blanket yarn, Parfait Blanket Sparkle, I think it's called. I think it's called Sparkle. And I bought it in white with the sparkles in it, specifically because I knew I'd want to make a snowman at Christmas time. And I bought it a while ago. I think I bought it on Hirschner's. And I finally pulled it out to use it. Oh, like I said earlier, I do not like this yarn. It's like working with rope. And especially when you have to use a smaller hook. I suppose if you can crochet with a 9 or a 10 millimeter hook, you're going to be okay with it because it's so thick. I used a 5. Pull that yarn through, pull that yarn through. And oh, I just wanted to give up on him. I really did. I wanted to give up on him. But if any of you know me, and any of my regular subscribers will know, I love snowmen. When I decorate for Christmas this coming weekend, I have snowmen all over the place. I love them. Love them. So I was determined to get this snowman finished. Oh my gosh, it killed my hands. Excuse me a second. It's Diet Coke time. Well, he didn't come out looking like the snowman in the pattern because I couldn't get this, because I used a small hook, I couldn't get his body round. I did okay with his head because it's hidden by a hat and you can't see it's a cone head underneath it. But, oh, I was just cursing to myself through the whole thing. I hated doing this. And this as well, I had to frog and start over again. And it was like, oh my gosh. It was a nightmare of crafting this past couple of days, but they turned out so cute. They turned out so cute. So my favorite plushie ever that I've made is my snowman. I absolutely love him. Love, love, love him. And he's a big one because I use that thick yarn. But here he is. Oh, is he too cute? Oh, I love him. I almost hope he doesn't sell because I want him for me. And he can join my snowman collection. Oops, I got something there. I gotta check that after. Is he too cute? Is he the cutest little guy? I wanted a pattern where he had a top hat, very traditional snowman. And found this one. Now you can see his body is not round, but it works. It works just fine. And he sits nicely, and I just absolutely love him. My favorite. My favorite. I've got lots of favorites, but by far, this is my favorite plushie I've ever made. And I'm so happy. And now I have to decide if I want to go through that heck of making another one, because I think bringing 2 to my market would be a good idea. And then if they don't sell, I have 2 for my dining room table. It's a win-win. So tell me what you think of my new plushies this week. Oh, I have to laugh. You know, when you crochet with all of this plushie yarn, it sheds and it gets all over you. And so usually at the end of the day, I'll take out the broom and dustpan and I'll sweep up everything because it's everywhere. And the other day, Grumpy came out of our bedroom and he says, don't take this wrong, but there are yarn bombs everywhere. Yarn bombs. And he was talking about all of these little pieces of fluff that you get when you're crocheting, especially with Parfait Chunky. That stuff shreds like crazy. I don't know. And he was right, because when I walked into our master bathroom, it was, I had so many little things of yarn on the bathroom floor. I couldn't believe it. I ran and got the broom and swept it up. And yarn bombs. So that's the thing in my house now. There are yarn bombs everywhere. All righty. I think that's it. I hope I didn't forget to tell you anything. Don't know. Don't know what I'm working on. I think the next thing I'm going to work on is an elephant, because I have 2 to make for a order, and then I'll be done that order, and have to call the lady about the owls and set up a time to go see her so she can choose which one she wants. Which one do you think she'll choose? Grumpy and I both think she'll take the small one because she won't want to pay for the big one, because it's not going to be cheap. Not going to be cheap. Too much work. I guess that's it. Let me know what you've been working on. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Until next time, someday I will learn how to edit my videos so you don't see me do this. Bye.